Christians were recently attacked in Seattle, Washington. But before we begin, I want to invite you to be part of this important conversation. What do you think about faith gatherings in public spaces? Have you seen similar events or experienced anything like this? Please take a moment and share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like or share this video if you find it meaningful. Your perspective matters. In times like these, our community's voices are needed more than ever. Was this an issue about free speech, religious freedom, or something else? I'll be reading your comments and responding to as many as possible. Let's create a space for respectful discussion. Your words could encourage someone else or offer a new point of view. Only together can we hope to move closer to peace and unity. Stay with me as we explore what really happened at the Seattle prayer rally and why it matters to every person who values liberty. On Saturday, May 25th, 2025, the heart of Seattle pulsed with anticipation. On Fire Ministries and Mayday USA had organized a prayer rally near Seattle City Hall and Cal Anderson Park. This event aimed to bring Christians together to stand for biblical truth and values. The organizers secured a city permit, planning a peaceful gathering open to all ages. The rally's location was significant. Cal Anderson Park sits in Seattle's LGBTQ+ neighborhood, a place known for activism and community events. The organizers chose the spot to publicly affirm their faith, making a bold statement about the role of religion in American life. Flyers and social media posts invited families to attend, and many did. Children in tow, strollers rolling, hands clasped in prayer. From the start, the atmosphere was charged. Organizers hoped for peaceful prayer, but they knew not everyone would agree with their message. Still, they pressed forward, determined to exercise their constitutional rights. This was meant to be a day of unity and faith. But as the rally began, tensions simmered just beneath the surface. Trouble erupted shortly after 1:30 in the afternoon. As worship music filled the air and speakers took the stage, a group of counter-protesters approached. Many carried signs with slogans such as "Keep your Bibles off our bodies" and "Republican lies kill trans people." The group included trans activists and individuals identified as Antifa supporters. The peaceful mood shattered quickly. Counter-protesters began shouting, throwing water bottles, and shockingly, water balloons filled with urine at the rally participants and at police officers. Temporary fencing was knocked over in the chaos. In a terrifying moment, two individuals rushed the stage, forcing speakers to retreat. Amid the turmoil, police acted fast. Officers moved in to separate the two groups, but the violence escalated. One counter-protester allegedly pulled a knife and threatened a 17-year-old Christian attendee. Organizers also reported sexually explicit acts performed in front of children, compounding the distress for families present. By the end of the confrontation, 23 arrests had been made. 11 people were taken into custody during the initial clash, and a dozen more were later arrested for assault and obstruction. Several police officers were attacked. One was hospitalized, but later released. For many families, the day quickly turned from a spiritual celebration to a nightmare. One video circulated widely online showed a mother with a baby and two young children surrounded by protesters. The family tried to leave the area, but angry voices and a wall of shouting made their exit frightening. The children clung to their mother, faces pale with fear. Other parents described shielding their kids from objects thrown across the crowd. Some knelt and prayed while chaos broke out around them. There were tears, mothers comforting crying toddlers, fathers trying to reassure sons and daughters that they were safe. The psychological toll was immediate. Several families left early, escorted by police, shaken by the violence and explicit acts they witnessed. Organizers later said they had never seen such open hostility at a faith event in Seattle. Many attendees expressed deep sadness. What was meant to be a day of worship became for some a lesson in the unpredictable risks of living out their faith in public America. Official reactions poured in as news of the violence spread. Seattle Mayor Bruce Harrell was quick to speak out, but his words fueled controversy. The mayor condemned the Mayday USA rally as a far-right rally and blamed its presence for provoking the violence, though he also acknowledged that anarchists infiltrated the counter-protesters group and inspired violence. City officials asked event organizers to shut down early, which they did under police advice. Event spokesman Folake Kellogg pushed back against claims of provocation. "They say we don't like people. We're not the ones throwing things. We're here to love Jesus," she said, her voice trembling with emotion. Organizers insisted they had come in peace and had followed all city requirements for permits and safety. Eyewitnesses described a sense of shock and disbelief. "I brought my grandkids to pray and show them love wins," said one woman, "but now they are scared. This is not the America I remember." Police confirmed the seriousness of the situation, noting multiple assaults and the need for urgent backup. The FBI announced an investigation into possible targeted violence against religious believers. Their involvement signaled just how seriously authorities viewed the escalating tensions. As soon as details emerged, the conversation exploded online. On X, formerly known as Twitter, the hashtag Seattle Prayer Rally trended for hours. FBI Deputy Director Dan Bongino posted, "We have asked our team to fully investigate allegations of targeted violence against religious groups at the Seattle concert." Freedom of religion isn't a suggestion. His words were retweeted thousands of times. Pastor Paula White-Cain, a key figure in the White House Faith Office, also spoke out. The White House Faith Office condemns the violent disruption of Seattle's Mayday USA worship event. Public officials must protect the inalienable rights of all citizens, regardless of their faith or religious beliefs. Her statement echoed the fears of many Christians watching the story unfold. Social media users voiced outrage and concern for the safety of Christians. One user wrote, "If Christians can't gather in peace, no one is safe." Others expressed sympathy for the families. "My heart breaks for the kids who will never forget this day." Yet, even as support poured in, criticism and heated debate continued, revealing deep national divisions. The Seattle Prayer Rally brought a sharp clash of views. Supporters of the rally said it was a peaceful exercise of constitutionally protected rights. They pointed to the violence as proof that Christian voices are under threat in today's America. Critics, including some city officials and members of the LGBTQ+ community, argued that the rally's message was itself provocative. Mayor Bruce Harrell called the event a far-right rally and suggested it was intended to provoke rather than promote peace. Some counter-protesters claimed their presence was necessary to protect trans youth and resist what they saw as hatred disguised as faith. Counter-protest banners read, "Keep your Bibles off our bodies," and "Republican lies kill trans people." One counter-protester, interviewed by local news, said, "We're tired of being targeted. We won't be silent while people try to erase us." Organizers of the rally, however, denied any intent to harm or provoke, insisting their only goal was to worship. This conflict highlights a growing divide in American society, one where faith, identity, and politics collide in the streets. To many observers, the attack in Seattle fits a troubling pattern. Recent years have seen growing reports of hostility toward Christians in public spaces, especially when their gatherings intersect with contentious social issues. The rally came just 1 week after a similar clash in the same city, pointing to an escalating culture war. Christian leaders and conservative commentators now warn of rising persecution. They argue that although America was founded on religious liberty, the right to worship publicly is no longer guaranteed. Incidents like Seattle's rally, where families with children felt unsafe, raise urgent questions about the limits of tolerance and the responsibilities of public officials. At the same time, critics insist that Christian groups should expect pushback when their messages challenge current social movements. For them, the rally was one battleground in a larger fight for LGBTQ+ rights and public acceptance. The events in Seattle, therefore, are about more than just one day. They reflect deeper currents shaping American life. The FBI's involvement and national attention from media and faith groups show this is not just a local dispute. It is a test of America's commitment to both freedom and civility. If you followed this far, thank you. Please like, subscribe, and share your thoughts below. Your support helps keep these stories alive. Whether you agree or disagree with what happened in Seattle, your voice is important in defending the right to peaceful assembly for all Americans. What comes next is uncertain. The FBI investigation will bring more facts to light, and both sides will likely continue to argue in courts and on social media. Yet in these painful moments, there is also hope for healing, understanding and unity across deep divides. Let us remember that faith gatherings, whatever their message, are a vital part of American life. We must protect the freedom to pray and speak, even when we disagree. Let's commit ourselves to peace, respect, and the pursuit of common ground, so that children, families, and all people can gather without fear. May unity and prayer guide us forward. In Seattle and across the nation, let's believe in a future where faith and freedom walk hand in hand. Cheers!